Chapter 2. Description of the 7 suspended terraces. First terrace of the hanging gardens, roots of the earth. In a warm and quiet morning, Nebuchadnezzar and Amytis were walking on the first terrace of the hanging gardens, a place that seemed like an oasis from a dream. This terrace, the lowest of the 7, served as the gateway to the wonders of nature, being a symbol of the deep connection between earth and sky. Here every detail was thought to delight the senses, and the atmosphere was a vibrant mixture of color, smell and sound. The terrace spread over several hectares and was divided into sectors, each with its own charm. The paths were paved with water-polished stones, brought from the banks of the Euphrates River, and bordered with clinging jasmine, whose small white flowers emanated a delicate fragrance. Every few meters, huge terracotta pots housed broad-leaved figs and pomegranate bushes, whose fruit shone like stones precious, and in the center of the terrace were several artesian fountains, each skillfully carved in stone. The water gushed with a gentle sound and flowed in a network of thin channels that crossed the garden, keeping the soil moist and cooling the air. The first terrace was thought to be a show of color. Roses in every possible shade, from bright red to pale yellow and pure white, formed bushes rich, and the lilies gracefully raised their white flowers to the sky. Carnations, with fringed petals and a sweet scent, alternated with purple and blue hyacinths, creating a natural mosaic that seemed to dance in the sunlight. Hanging plants, such as wild vine and wisteria, dressed the walls of the terrace, transforming them into a carpet alive. Interspersed among these were rare flowers brought from the vast empire of Babylon, orchids from the tropical forests, red hibiscus from the eastern islands and flowers of blue lotus, carefully transported from Egypt. One of the most remarkable elements of the first terrace were the exotic birds, which brought life and sound to the garden. Nebuchadnezzar had ordered that birds be gathered from all corners of his empire, as a tribute to the diversity of the world. The aviaries and the nests were hidden among trees and shrubs, creating a perfect sanctuary for these wonderful creatures. Songbirds were the most numerous. Among them were they counted the nightingales, whose melancholy trills filled the air with a natural music. They preferred to hide their nests in the thick bushes of jasmine and myrtle. There, Babylonian sparrows, with brown feathers and simple but constant songs that brought a familiar touch the garden. Exotic birds, brought by merchants and royal expeditions, attracted all eyes. Among them were peacocks from India, with their stunning plumage, which shone in shades of blue, green and gold. The peacocks walked freely in the alleys, proud and graceful. Parrots, brought from the tropical forests of the south, with feathers in vivid colors of red, yellow and blue. They sat on the branches of palm trees and made piercing sounds, sometimes repeating words they had learned from slaves. Pink flamingos, transported from the Nile Delta. They preferred the specially created marshy areas around artificial pools. On the edge of the terrace, several birds of prey lived in specially arranged areas. Nebuchadnezzar admired their strength and grace. Among them were peregrine falcons, trained by hunters royals to catch rabbits and other small animals. Huge owls, which had become a symbol of wisdom and guarded the garden at night. The maintenance of the first terrace was a titanic job, carried out by a large number of slaves and gardeners. They worked from sunrise to sunset, watering the plants, cleaning the dry leaves and feeding the birds. They were organized in specialized groups. Some took care of irrigation, others cutting and shaping the bushes, and the most skilled took care of the exotic bird aviaries. The slaves who worked with the birds were carefully selected for their patience and gentleness. A young boy, for example, could be seen daily feeding the peacock's special seeds, humming songs to soothe them. The air on the first terrace was moist and cool, thanks to the water channels that they meandered through the flowers and trees. The smell of jasmine and roses mingled with that of fresh earth and clean water. The sound of birds, combined with the sound of water, created a natural symphony that made this place seem unearthly. Nebuchadnezzar and Amytis lingered on a stone bench, admiring the life that pulsated around them. "This is the root of our gardens," said Nebuchadnezzar, caressing the queen's hand. "Here everything begins, just as our love was the beginning of this paradise." Amytis, with shining eyes, answered him, "It is perfect, but above all it is alive. Every bird, every flower, and every leaf is a testimony of what we can create together." The first terrace, with all its splendor, was not just a garden, but a celebration of life, of nature, and the love that had made it possible.